Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I want to share how to sort of level up your Todoist workflow by using filters. Filters can be a bit intimidating to set up at the start, but when you have them set up, they are an incredible, useful thing to have. And don't worry, mine are very basic. You can view this as like an introduction to filters for a newbie. So let's just dive right in and explore a few different types of filters that I find particularly useful, and I hope you will too. So this is how my inbox looks right now. I sort of made it all empty and pretty for the video. To find the filters, you just go right over here and you can just do that. And you can set up a few different filters. I'm on the free plan, so I only have 3. But the first filter I wanted to show you is a super easy one that provides an overview of tasks due today and tomorrow. When you have a long list of tasks with varying priorities, varying due dates, it can be hard to decide what's most important at any given moment. If you just focus on the today view, you might miss something that you scheduled for tomorrow that you might need to keep in mind today. Maybe you need to prepare the day before, not for different tasks that you need to add in Todoist, but just sort of mentally prepare or pick out a certain outfit or just be aware that it's coming tomorrow. To tackle this, I've just set up a super easy filter. So let's see the filter in action. So this is just a query. It's due, today, tomorrow, and recurring. So what's the exclamation part about? Well, it's to exclude it from the filter. I don't want the recurring tasks to show up here because they are mostly already reminders of things coming the next day, sort of like putting out the trash for the pickup tomorrow or stuff like that. We love redundancy over here, but that's too far even for me. So for me, let's see what I have. I see that I'm filming today, and then I have some important tasks for tomorrow. Personally, I find this filter extremely helpful. For instance, today I'm filming, and I can see here that I have several high priority tasks tomorrow, so I'll probably not be able to edit tomorrow, we'll see. This filter gives me clear understanding on what lies ahead, making sure I don't overlook anything. I have this in my phone, in the Todoist widget. I have this filter set up. Every time I check my phone, I can see what's due today and tomorrow. Now let's move on to another useful filter. As you can see here in the filter view, there's a pre-configured filter called Priority 1 that Todoist creates for you. Thanks, Todoist. This filter shows all tasks marked with priority level 1, meaning the ones that you mark as most important. I mention this because it sets the stage on what my own filter does. A lot of the time we add tasks to Todoist and they don't have a specific due date and they are not important. Unfortunately, these tasks can easily slip through the cracks and you just forget about them. But to prevent that, for me, I just go through this like every few days just to see that I don't have anything and that I should be doing that I'm not doing. So just to show the query, so this is even easier than the last one. This is just no date and priority 1, meaning that we are excluding priority 1 tasks. So I can just go through this every few days, make sure I don't forget things. This is perfect for those late night ideas you just pushed into Todoist before you fell asleep. Sometimes I find stuff here that I want to add to my reading list, or maybe something I need to research. Then I can just move that to an appropriate space. And that space can be in Todoist. It can be that I move something from Todoist to Obsidian or to Logsec or wherever I need it. So for my last filter, it's not actually something that I have set up yet. So, as I said before, I've reached my limit since I'm on the free plan, but let me just remove this one. And I found a pretty cool query on the Todoist webpage. It's a filter for old forgotten tasks. I don't think I'll have any pop up, but I want to show you the setup anyway, the query. So this is old tasks. And the query is dash 200 days and excluding recurring and no date. So what this is gonna do is show you all tasks created more than 200 days ago, excluding recurring tasks and tasks with due dates. Because I mean you can have a task that's for like birthdays, and that's something that is far in the future, so maybe you set it up more than 200 days ago and you don't want to show it, and you don't want it to show up here. But let's see if I even get any tasks. I very much hope not. No, good, no tasks. That means I haven't forgotten anything. So why this filter? It's by definition not that different from the previous one, the without date and not important. But what is different is the mental aspect of it. The old task filter is where I really have to stop and pause and wonder if this task even mattered. If it slipped through the without date filter and ended up here, I must not find it very important, or it's obviously nothing I wanted to spend time on because it slipped through one filter that I go through every other day and ended up in a filter for tasks that are more than 200 days old. So it's the mental aspect of actually just finding out what's important. So these three filters might seem very basic, and I mean they are. They are very helpful in keeping me productive. If you have more things on your plate, don't be scared to try out different filters. There are filters so that you can choose to only see your work to-dos if you don't want to be bothered about your personal to-dos during your workday, or the reverse. If you don't want work encroaching on your personal life, set up a filter that only shows your personal to-dos so you can toggle back and forth when you leave work and when you get back to work. What I want to show when I do these basic videos is that there's this thing in the productivity sphere that you have to be so extra about everything. I believe that filters, to-do lists, softwares, they are important in how the world is set up today. But your own system doesn't have to be that complicated. The queries doesn't have to be 3 miles long. It can just be easy stuff that works for you. For me, I like overviews, and I like to sort of have filters that catches tasks that slip through the cracks. I don't need the extra stuff. But in Todoist, you can do some very extra stuff. And if you like that sort of stuff, I would really recommend you to, just start out at the Todoist webpage. But there are a bunch of queries if you just search for them. You can set up very complicated queries. The ones I mentioned about toggling between work and personal life, that's just the start basically. So that's it for the filters that I use in Todoist and sort of a rundown on what you can do with more complicated queries. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more sort of productivity tips on a more basic level. And as always, if you have questions or suggestions, leave them down in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.